Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about what it's like to be visually impaired and how I got diagnosed and what it's like to live with progressive vision loss. For those who don't know me already, I have MPS type 6, which is a rare condition, but I'll probably talk about it more in another video. But one of the symptoms is vision loss, and it can affect people differently depending on how severe their MPS is. I'm going to start by talking about some of the things I noticed growing up and how they eventually led to my diagnosis. I've written some things on my phone so I don't forget anything, so that's why I keep looking away from the camera. I have such bad memory, but that's not even a symptom of my MPS. That's just me being me, I guess. Not even got an excuse for that one. Probably my time at school would be a good place to start. Seems that that's where I spent majority of my time, as did other kids, caged up in a building 5 days a week, forced to wear uniform and abide by stupid school rules. I think school is hard for a lot of people, but it's even harder when you have an undiagnosed medical condition. And a lot of people wonder actually why a diagnosis is so important. And I guess I would say it reframes the way someone thinks. For example, for me, I didn't have a diagnosis until about year 10 at school. And all these years I thought that I was stupid because I couldn't see what everyone else was seeing. But once I got a diagnosis, that self-limiting thought changed to okay, I'm different. I need help doing certain things. But I'm not exactly stupid, if that makes any sense. Okay, so let's start by talking about school. I had this one science teacher who would always write on the whiteboard in red pen. The reflection of the lights on the board literally made it impossible for me to see. I couldn't understand why I could see he was writing, but I couldn't actually see what he was writing. I would look around and every other student would be writing and I'd be too scared to say anything because I felt like I was stupid because I couldn't see what they were all seeing. So I would just sit there pretending to write and catching up and I would have to go and catch up and work in my own time outside of school, which then made it harder for me to do homework and revise because I was catching up on the lesson work in my time to do that. Every time I would speak up and explain that I can't see, people would move me closer to the board and I still wouldn't be able to see. I used to think what's wrong with me? I'm literally a metre away from the board and I still can't see what everyone else is seeing. Or people would be look, it's right there, as if that would magically be able to make me see. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. I also found that I was making all these notes in class, but I couldn't actually use them to revise after the lesson because I couldn't read my own handwriting back and the glare from the white paper was too intense. I used to think that my handwriting was just too scruffy. I mean, it might have been, but I couldn't see, so that's not my problem. That's my teacher's problem marking it. Worksheets were a problem too. They're literally an absolutely awful creation. For a start, it means you actually have to do the work, and let's be real, who wants to do that? Or at least pretend to do the work, you know? And secondly, why the hell are they printed in size 5 font on A5 paper instead of A4? It's not even on A4 paper. I mean, the actual problem is that schools are too cheap to afford to print on A4 paper. But it's seriously. And they always screenshotted the worksheets as well, so the resolution went down even more. So as if my vision wasn't already blurry enough, it was even worse. Oh my god, and when I eventually got diagnosed, they started printing my work on A3. What the hell, it's one extreme to the next. For those who don't know me, I'm 4'1". Don't forget the 1, every little counts. As if maths wasn't scary enough, my equations were now literally life-size. There was one equation printed on an A3 piece of paper. The paper wouldn't even fit on my desk. It's literally teachers don't know the power of making the font bigger. Instead, they literally just made it life-size. We all know how technical teachers can be. And then everyone would turn and stare at me because now I'm having a full-on fight with a piece of paper, leaning over my table trying to reach the top to answer the question. There would also be times where people I knew would wave at me and I would ignore them because I didn't see them, and it was just embarrassing, and I couldn't understand how I missed out on so much when I was physically present in the moment. I also noticed that I would look in the mirror and I wouldn't really be able to see myself. I just looked blurry. Then I began to notice that when I was looking at other people, I couldn't focus on them either. I couldn't really see the details of their face, for example. It was just blurry and almost like living in slow motion. I don't know how to explain it. I also couldn't read signs and menus at the restaurant. I was still having regular eye appointments at the hospital, but every time I tried to explain that I couldn't see, they would just tell me that with my new prescription I would be able to see, like my vision would be corrected. So every time I got new glasses, I would pretend that I could see because I just assumed that the professionals knew everything and I didn't want to question them or anything. But I couldn't see nothing. And I don't know how I blagged being able to see for so long, to be honest. I got diagnosed with MPS when I was 3, so I've been having regular eye appointments since then. When I was I think I must have been about 14 at the time. 14 or 15, around then. I don't remember, to be honest. That's when people started finally listening to me that I couldn't see. I got sent for more tests. I don't remember the names of the tests. If I do remember, then I'll edit them on the screen. But I'll probably forget about that. Anyways, the tests came back and it showed that I had cone and rod dysfunction and a load of other things. I'll put them on the screen as well. I remember when I went back to the hospital a few weeks later for the results, and they said that I would be diagnosed partially sighted. It was a shock for everyone, but I don't really think it was a shock for me because, I knew I was pretending to be able to see. I think people were just, shocked because they tried gaslighting me into me thinking that I could see for all these years. I don't know why no one believes their patients, but yeah, if there's any doctors watching this, please listen to your patients. Then I got put in contact with an eye liaison officer. He worked for guide dogs. My brother came with me to that appointment with my parents, and I remember that he was just really excited that we might be getting a dog because for some reason he thought that because I was now blind he would be getting a free guide dog. Yeah, don't ask. My brother's just crazy. Oh my god, I've just thought of a story and it kind of ties into this video, so I'm gonna say it. When I was I think it was probably about year 3 or year 4, my parents had just dropped me to school and I had just walked up the stairs and I walked straight into a table. For some reason, I was the same height as this table and I walked right into the corner and knocked myself out, which was crazy. I don't even know how that happened. But yeah, I didn't see the table. And then I think I passed out maybe because then I woke up in the office with paramedics surrounding me. And yeah, no one knew how that accident happened. But then a few years later, got diagnosed partially sighted. Who saw that coming? I mean, I didn't see it coming, did I? But yeah. That literally should have been the moment that people realised that, oh my god, she actually can't see. But no, people still told me that I could see. And I still believed people that I could see. Anyways, I went off track a little bit there, but oh well, hope you guys enjoyed the little story. But anyway, once I saw my eye liaison officer, his name was Eric. I don't know if I said that in the last clip. But yeah, his name was Eric. Things started to actually get easier at school because teachers started listening to me saying that I can't see finally after all these years. And like, they started actually enlarging the work. There were still some teachers, like my maths teacher, who used to print on A3, even after me telling her that like it's more of a hassle. But you know, maths teachers never listen and they always think they're right. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. It's a little bit different to what I normally post. Like, a lot of you will be coming from my Instagram account and I don't really post videos on there. But yeah, I just wanted to try something new and hopefully you guys enjoyed it.